What's up everyone, John from Beyond ARTV. It's time for another vinyl update. I know it's been a couple of months since I did one. You guys have been asking for me to go ahead and update my collection, especially since I've been teasing some of my releases on my Instagram. If you do want to keep up with that, it's instagram.com/ARTVreviews. You can find that username ARTVreviews linked in the description down below if you would like to keep up with some of my vinyl purchases. I won't show them all on there, obviously. I don't want to spam you guys with posts, and of course I do these videos on the YouTube channel, but whenever I get stuff that I really feel like is worth sharing, I will be posting on there. Without further ado, drop a like on this video and let's go ahead and see what I've been up to the past couple of months in terms of vinyl purchases. First up today, we have Bring Me the Horizon's 2013 release, Sempiternal. I love this record front to back for the most part. There's a couple of tracks that I find myself skipping over, but I was so happy to see this one in the record store. I had been talking about picking up this one, and I was thinking about That's the Spirit, and I was like, you know, I don't really like that one enough to own it on vinyl, but this I feel like is their just most solid release to date. Just an excellent record, full of screams, harder guitars in places, but some also electronic elements, as we see like right off the bat with Can You Feel My Heart. I really like the way that this album is styled. It's laid out, of course, with the lyrics and stuff on the gateway fold there. It's just a very enjoyable release that I'm happy to own on vinyl now. If you're looking for a great 90s record to dig into, I highly recommend 16 Stone. I picked up the 20th anniversary edition of this one. I really like this one. Folds out, it's a double LP, and this is actually on clear vinyl, something that is very cool. Always a fan of that clear vinyl, always plays and looks great to me. And this is one that's a little bit smoky. I like that haze that kind of comes through on this. It's not like totally clear, it's kind of grayish, but it also matches the aesthetic of this record and the album cover. There's so many great tracks on this. You probably know some of the singles, even if you don't think you do, like Glycerine, Machine Head. There's so many good ones, some aggressive, some a little bit more laid back, but Gavin Rossdale has such a cutting and memorable voice, so I highly recommend this record. Who says you never find anything good for cheap? Manchester Orchestra's record Cope was $1 at Hot Topic. $1! They're practically giving this thing away. Granted, I did buy one other clearance item, and that's the reason that I got it for $1, but the list price on it was only $4.99. That's just hard to believe for me. Hot Topic was, like I said, practically throwing this thing at me, and I said, you know what? I like this album a whole lot, so why not go ahead and pick it up? Manchester Orchestra, a very, very talented band, and while this album may have faded out of favor with me a little bit, there's still some really killer tracks on this, like Girl Harbor, and then some of the singles that I enjoyed, like Top Notch. Silly me, I forgot to showcase this one last time around because, I don't know, I'm an airhead, and sometimes I space on things, and I almost always forget one in the vinyl update, but this one was actually one of 1,000. This was a pre-order from their web store, and this is the Solid Red edition. I know a lot of people kind of maybe favor the splatter, but I really enjoy this one. I just like red vinyl, and it really obviously matches the aesthetic of this record, a red record, and there's a lot of red text and that sort of thing all around. This is just a solid, really solid album, I should say. I've been coming back to a lot of tracks on here. I've just been really surprised. I think my favorite right now has to be either Today I Saw the Whole World or Phantom Power and Ludicrous Speed. There's some really solid stuff on here, though Floral and Fading hasn't come off of repeat since this album came out. Kick it back to 2001 for this pop punk release. This is one of my first albums that I ever owned, and I was expecting this to just be a standard black copy, but it turns out that I got really, really lucky. I only paid like $22 for this, and it is a marble copy. This is one of the prettiest records that I own. I'm just mesmerized by how pretty this is. I'm glad that the camera seems to be picking it up here because it is really laid out. I mean, you look at like a marble counter or something like that, or just like a gemstone that you find somewhere. This is a pretty record, and this is an easy record that goes down smooth in the summertime in particular. It's one that I've already been throwing on several times. I have a CD copy of this already locked in my car because I drive around. Sometimes I just like to get hyped up. This is one of those albums that does that for me. It takes me back, it's nostalgic in a way, and I'm so glad that I found a marble vinyl copy of it. Don't fight against the youth, cause we're strong. Sublime said that in 1996, and that still holds true, and I'm so happy to own a copy of this. This record just turned 20, and if you're watching this, I'm probably either about to upload a throwback review of that record, or one is coming very, very soon. I'm planning on doing that on the main channel, ARTV, where I do my album reviews, obviously, but Sublime's self-titled and final album is just a masterpiece in a way. Sure, there's some tracks that I skip over sometimes, and there's ones that I'm not really into, like Pawn Shop probably being my least favorite on this, but they just mix elements of like dub, reggae, punk rock and just fuse it so well. Bradley being too short for this world, unfortunately, he was not around for very long at all, and the heroin overdose just a tragic strike to the music community, but thank God we still have all of this music. I've been grooving out. If you watched my songs I can't stop listening to, Garden Grove hasn't come off repeat in a while. It's been one of those tracks. And obviously there's some huge singles on here that you guys probably know. Doing Time, Summertime, The Living's Easy, Caress Me Down being a very sexual one, and some faster paced ones like Paddle Out and Wrong Way, a track that you really ought to reconsider the lyrics on, especially if you've never really thought about them too much. It's maybe not about what you thought it was. Shout out to my girlfriend for getting me into this band Basement here that I've really been enjoying as of late. This is kind of like a grungy alternative feel and a very, very pretty record. Once again, Hot Topic selling this record for cheap. I'm so glad that I was able to score a copy. I got her a copy, I got myself one. It's on this pretty green vinyl here, almost looks like a green cloud floating by. I finally picked up Jack White's Blunderbuss, one that I had been meaning to get for a while. I favor this one over his second solo release, Lazaretto. And not that Lazaretto is a bad record, it was just very, very different. And I feel like Blunderbuss is more true to what Jack White really does best, with the kind of hard guitars, kind of a bluesy feel. I love the way that this record is laid out. He has stuck with that for his solo stuff, kind of the blue and black, whereas obviously he had the aesthetic of white, black, and red with the white stripes. This time around he's sticking to the blue, and I feel like this is a really, really solid release that kind of gets overlooked sometimes. Sometimes people seem to forget that this record even came out. And I listen to tracks like Missing Pieces or even Hypocritical Kiss, and I'm thinking, how can we overlook this? Some of the best Jack White songs are found on this record. Fanboy alert, I picked up a couple of new Green Day records to add to the chaos that is my Green Day vinyl collection. Now one day I'll get it all, I'll catch them all, but as of now I added a second copy of Warning and of course a new copy of Insomniac. Now the reason for adding a second copy of Warning is because I was able to score one of only 500 of the orange releases for this vinyl edition of Warning. This came and was shipped to me from Japan, and I really feel like this is a special one. I was spending it not too long ago really enjoying Warning, and I was like, one of my friends from YouTube, Alex D, was like, dude, you could get this pretty cheap on eBay right now. And I was like, you know what, I better snatch that up now before that price goes through the roof. Considering the shirt that I'm wearing, you guys probably could have seen this one coming since the start of the video, but obviously I bought and pre-ordered the California album by Blink-182. Definitely a solid release, maybe not everything that I hoped for, but it does have a pretty good replay factor, I will say that, and a lot of my friends really enjoy this record, so I've been hearing it a lot, and I was lucky enough to get one of the limited copies of the purple record. Absolutely beautiful. I did an unboxing of it on this channel, but I figured I'd still include it briefly in this update. Such a pretty album. Look at this. Beautiful. Let Me Make Love to You vinyl. In my opinion, Nothing But Thieves, this rock band out of the UK, put out one of the best releases of 2015. Just a collection of great songs. Their vocalist is so skilled. The range that he can hit with his voice is incredible. And some of these tracks like Graveyard Whistling, Itch being a particularly striking one, especially the music video that goes along with that. Criminally underrated, just a fantastic release there. This is one of those albums that I'm so happy to have finally scored on vinyl, and I got that one along with another one of my favorites from 2015, Neck Deep's Life's Not Out to Get You. This one came on a really cool kind of shade of blue. This is one that it's not like fancy, it's not clouded or anything like that, but I do love colored vinyl, and I was so happy to get this one. I was listening to it one day in the car, and I was like, do I have a vinyl copy of this? No, I've actually only got the CD copy, so I decided to go ahead and get this. Now guys, I really don't want you to kill me. I really don't want you to be jealous. These are some casual records that I want to share with you. I mean, like, I'm not sure if you guys will be interested in them or not, but I mean, they're here, I'm just kidding. These are two super, super awesome records. This one I actually got from my girlfriend. Take This to Your Grave. This is incredible. I can't believe that this is here. This is on blue vinyl. So keep in mind that once again, this is not staying with me, but still I had to show it off because you guys are probably like, holy shit, he's got Take This to Your Grave. But at the same record store, not even 2 weeks later, we go back in there. We were just casually driving by and I was like, let's stop in while we're in this part of town. Yeah, this was sitting up on on the wall from under the cork tree, and I just about lost my shit. I couldn't fucking believe it. This is the album that got me into Fall Out Boy, so this is mine right here. And not only do I have it on vinyl, I have it on maroon vinyl. Maroon pretty much being like my favorite color, matching the curtains on the album cover here. So this is absolutely nuts that I actually own this. I still haven't even gotten a chance to spin this. I actually filmed the vinyl update because I was like, I have to do this now. I cannot wait any longer to share this with them. I hope you guys enjoyed my August 2016 vinyl update. Let me know what you thought of my purchases in the comment section down below. Have you started your own vinyl collection? What are some recent records that you picked up and that sort of thing? Definitely sound off down there, and I will probably see you guys in September or else October for another vinyl update. If you would like to check out my last update that I did or a similar video on this channel, you can click those little annotations below me. Other than that, you can check out all of my social media linked in the description. You can check that top link in the description if you'd like to help support these videos and the channels by supporting on Patreon. Other than that, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed, and I'll see you very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.